This is the voice of the Report of the Week, signing on. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone listening. This is VORW, the voice of the Report of the Week. And a happy February to you all, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to VORW, the voice of the Report of the Week. Here we are, folks, the Report of the Week. And, well, it's February, of course. First and foremost, I'd like to apologize for not having a VORW for you last week. Reason being, ladies and gentlemen, simply because I have a head of cold, I suppose you'd call it. And that said, it's done a number on my voice. You know, lots of congestion and such. Gave me a sore throat, and I can't really talk of that. And also just the congestion itself kind of made it difficult to really sound, nice, I guess you'd say. So I couldn't really do a VORW this week, or last, so I apologize for the wait. I'm still getting over it now, not great still, I've been blowing my nose a lot lately. Went through a whole box of tissues the other day, and, been blowing it so much, there's just so much mucus, I don't know where it comes from, Blow it every time now, some blood comes out, but, so be it. Just the weather, I figure. But, it'll go away soon. It will. It'll go away in due time. And, getting better every day. Hope you're all doing well, of course. This VORW itself may not be too long. When I say too long, I probably mean... Normally when I try to do a shorter one, it'll end up being an hour and a half, so I figure that's what we'll estimate. Anyways, hope you're doing well. This is mostly going to be a fan mail one, and then next week when I'll be able to talk more. That'll probably be around, a 2+ hour program. Because we'll have about 2 weeks of stuff to talk about. Maybe 3 at that point. Anyways, hope you're doing well. Hope you're keeping warm. I know most of the U.S. especially is in the cold, the deep freeze of winter. Presently, it is 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And outside, the temperature is 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like -2 degrees, folks. -2. If you have to go out tonight and it's this dangerous, or if it's this cold, I do not recommend it. Please bundle up. Don't leave any skin exposed. If you're out there too long, you will die, and I don't want to lose any of you. No, I don't. So, be very considerate of the wind chill. Going to be in the negatives tonight. Going to get to around -30, -40 with the wind chill. So just be very aware of that and dress accordingly. So to review, bro, how you dressed today. Well, I mean, I'm not really going out, but today I'm going with, let's see, black shoes, black socks, black dress pants, pleated creased and cuffed, wide leg, of course, white shirt, a bluish-black tie, black vest, and then a solid black cardigan with a little dark gray border around the edges. And I'm wearing the cardigan over the vest, so I'm wearing that today. That's how I'm keeping warm, on this cold winter day, of course. Anyways, hope you're all doing well. Hope February's been turning out good for you. As you know, we're going to be on shortwave again. We are. You've already heard that, so that's the good news. We'll be discussing more in greater detail next week, of course, when the voice is fully there. So, with that being said, we're going to jump right into fan mail, of course, and get to your long-awaited letters. We will. But first and foremost, we have a question of our own this time around. Indeed we do. So, here goes. I know about a year ago, I've asked a question pertaining to seasons, and I know that. But this time I am targeting a specific season, and I apologize if I already asked the question, but my policy with VORW questions is, if I can't remember it, then it's liable to be asked again. But anyways, here goes. Here's the question for this day's programming. Simply put, we know it's winter. We know it's cold as heck, to be polite, outside. And that's understood. What are your thoughts on winter? Is it your favorite season? Do you like the cold? Do you hate the cold? Do you like to go and make a snow angel when it snows? Do you like to get a workout shoveling the snow? Do you hate the snow? Do you eat the snow? Do you eat the yellow snow? Hope no one eats any brown snow. What are your thoughts on winter? Could be any answer you choose. You could say, I hate it, I love it, I like the snow, I hate the snow. You can just say, I hate it, with no other explanation given. Doesn't matter to me any. So, interested in hearing that. I'm looking forward to any responses that we get. This is VORW, the Voice of the Report of the Week. The last question we asked for the other show was about chicken, of course. Chicken. About chicken it is. And, what's your favorite place for chicken? So let's delve into the YouTube inbox. Also, please understand, if you'd like to send us a message, please message us via YouTube. YouTube.com/user/report of the week. Click on the About tab, send message, type in the contents of your message, click submit, and it will be in my inbox and thereafter read in the next VORW show. Or please email me via repweekinterview1@gmail.com or vorwinfo@gmail.com. Fan art is always appreciated, as are any questions, comments, and general statements which you'd like to contribute to this program. This is VORW, the Voice of the Report of the Week. Fan mail segment begins now. So sitting down here we go. Drink of water. And we're on. In response to VORW number 111, nice trips by the way, I'd have to say the chubby chicken burger or strips at A&W in the Great White North, or a simple junior chicken from McDonald's is my favorite. Well, thank you for writing. Never been to A&W, so, I've seen A&Ws, but I've never been there, unfortunately. Hello, Review Bra. Huge fan of your work. I admire how much care and attention you put into your reviews and how eloquently you describe taste in general. Your professionalism and dry humor is relatable to my own personality. YouTube could use more channels like yours, with your genuine concern for the morale of your viewers and your dedication to consistently high-quality content. I also appreciate your honesty with regard to how you view your own videos. You aren't afraid to admit that some videos didn't turn out as you wanted them to, even though I don't think the quality of your content is anything less than outstanding. A lot of other YouTubers are afraid to admit that they aren't satisfied with their own content. I hope that this message finds you in a better place. I realize that you've been suffering from depression lately, and I can relate. I was depressed my entire first semester of college. Even though my first semester of college was quite rough, this semester is looking to be much better than the last. With regards to your question, I am partial to a grilled chicken sandwich from Zaxby's. I don't believe that there are any Zaxby's in Review Bra land, but I find it to be outstanding considering the price. I don't recall the price exactly, but I do know that it was fairly cheap. I would recommend reviewing something at Zaxby's, and if you ever find yourself around one, I think they are cut above the normal fast food restaurant. My only question to you is, if you had a giraffe, where would you hide it? Best regards from Missouri, Samuel. And thank you for writing, Samuel. And thank you for your comments. And the depression was quite rough, as of the last VORW, but this time around it's getting better. It's pretty much completely and totally dissipated by now. As I said, time is our friend, and time is sometimes the best cure, It is. The sands of time can sometimes do wonders. They can, sometimes. Zaxby's, there aren't any Zaxby's in Review Bra land, but, I'm pretty sure there might be a few in the Mid-Atlantic. So if I see one, maybe we'll give it a shot. A lot of other people have talked about Zaxby's too. So my question to you is, if you had a giraffe, where would you hide it? I guess, well, where would I hide it? I mean, there's got to be a lot of variables factored in here, okay? If I had a giraffe right now, in the current situation, I'd be damned if I'd have a place to put it. I mean, it's got to be climate controlled. Got to make it feel, you know, somewhat at home. Got to be comfortable. I mean, they're tall creatures. You need someplace with a tall ceiling. Can't let the poor thing go outside in this weather. It'll die. You know? I'd have to... Now, let's say I won the Powerball lottery, and I got a giraffe, and I needed someplace to hide it. That's fine. I'd build... In my basement, I'd build this massive underground chamber. Very high ceiling. Climate controlled, you know. And that'll be its little lair. If I needed to keep it and hide it for whatever reason. That's where it would go. I'm going to try to make it feel as best as it can to be happy and at home. This individual says, request Wiener Schnitzel. Please review this. Let's see what we have here. Do they call it Wiener Schnitzel or is it Wiener Schnitzel? I don't know. Sometimes some places like to put the different, you know, exaggerated pronunciation. Wiener Schnitzel. Or is it Wiener Schnitzel? Wiener Schnitzel. Schnitzel. The Works chili cheese dog they want me to review. A grilled original Wiener Schnitzel hot dog in a steamed fresh bun topped with Wiener Schnitzel chili, cheddar cheese, tomato, fresh chopped onions, a pickled spear, and tangy French mustard. I guess it does got the Works on it. Aren't any Wiener Schnitzels nearby me, unfortunately. Let's look at locations. I mean, you never know, but I don't... Let's see this. Okay, enter location. Let's see this here. Okay. No locations found. It's over, folks. It's not happening. Wiener Schnitzel's gone. It's gone. Let's just look up NY or NJ or CA. Any New York? Anyone? No New York. No New Jersey. CT. No Connecticut. What about PA? No. It's a West Coast thing, looks like. Oh well. We valiantly tried and failed. But don't worry, if you want a hot dog review, just wait until the week after next week and we'll be able to review some delicious hot dogs from Burger King. And I say delicious with invisible air quotes because I highly cast my doubts on that. I predict that it'll be absolutely disgusting. So please don't have your hopes up for it, but maybe it'll take me by surprise, but I can't see that happening. From Burger King. Hi, Review Bra. My coworkers and I have been watching your reviews for the last 2 months now. I want to let you know how much we love your channel, the reviews and the VORW segments you've compiled. In your last VORW, you seemed a bit annoyed, maybe even sad, at the current situation you're finding yourself in. On behalf of the crew of 8 or so people here at the Yahoo Boston office, I want to let you know that we think you have an unbelievable talent. No matter what is going on in your life right now, know that you are great at what you do. Keep continuing to make videos and keep striving to make them stronger each time. The listenership will grow, I'm confident in that. It's a joy getting to listen to each segment. You've got an incredible talent, and I hope you continue with it. All the best from Joe. Well, thank you, Joe, and thank you to all your employees, too. And I can guarantee that I'll be pressing on, I'll be pushing on, I'll be moving forward, and you can count on it. You can count on that happening. Dearest Review Bra, First off, let me say that I'm glad the Energy Crisis series, a cornerstone of this great channel, is still going strong and still being recorded in a standard location. As always, ignore the haters. You mentioned in the latest VORW that you've been considering doing some collegiate-style lectures, and I, for one, would like to hear that. I know you always say it's something, the mailbag portion of VORW that makes the show, but I've always liked the beginning the best, and I'm always very interested to hear what you have to say as well. Well, that, and when you read some of your stories, those are fantastic. I got very excited when you brought the Idle Mind back for the McDonald's episode, and I'd love to hear more lectures. As for chicken from the national chains, Wendy's Homestyle Chicken Sandwich is the best for me. I had one about 6 months ago, and wow, I said. They improved a lot from what they used to be when I was a kid. If you haven't had one lately, I recommend it. And lately, the prospect of a 5th anniversary shortwave show is very exciting. If you need any money, let me know. All the best from Tyler. Well, thank you, Tyler. We met our goal, so don't worry about that. Keep the money. And, I haven't been to a Wendy's to get their chicken at least in a little while, you know. I haven't, I'll admit it. I haven't. Their home-style chicken. Normally, I'll get the spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's. I will. Spicy chicken. Who knows, maybe the home-style chicken is, might surprise. It may, hey, you never know. Wendy's still has some pretty good quality food out of all 3 big chains, you know. That's for sure. Hey, just wanted to send a message. I really enjoy the channel. Hope you get through the rough patch. All right. Well, I will. And then thank you for writing. Hello, reviewer. I'm a fairly new listener, introduced by my friend Ryan. Shout out to her. She officially shouted out. I'm from Newfoundland, a place you claim to have visited. What did you think of it here? Would you consider ever coming back and maybe doing a fan meetup? We have a famous pizza place here called Donnie's. Oh no, it's it's called Donini's. Sorry. I'd love to hear your opinion on it. Best of luck with the channel. Well, thank you very much for writing. And yes, I was back in the day, you know. I was in Newfoundland, or Newfoundland. Newfoundland's Canada. 2007, harken back to the good old days, you know. Pre-smartphone and social media era, we're talking. Different world. It really was. But, let's not get all painfully nostalgic here. Let's get some real talk. Yeah, Newfoundland was a good place. It was a very beautiful place. You know, oftentimes I'll think back. I'll think back, and it's crazy. I mean, it was 2007 when I visited Newfoundland. It was a good trip. Okay. We drove up to Montreal, then to Quebec City, then through Nova Scotia to through like Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. Took the ferry over to Newfoundland, drove all the way up to the west coast of Newfoundland. To the one point where there's a deer. Where the first Vikings had landed. I'm looking at a deer outside. It's a big, big buck. It's eating the bird seed. The poor birds. No. Don't freeze to death. Stay warm now. Okay? You didn't hear me. We drove up all the way to where the Vikings landed. And, it was a great trip. Newfoundland was a very beautiful and scenic place. Very scenic. I remember in the car looking around and just these beautiful, rolling hills. Well, what the heck? Let's look at the computer right now. I think I got some old pictures from Newfoundland. Maybe I'll put a few landscape shots up here as a picture right here. But it was these beautiful rolling hills, these fog-laden valleys. Plateaus and everything in between. It was very beautiful. Beautiful place, Newfoundland wasn't. It was something, if given the chance to go back, I'd go back. Makes me wonder from time to time, my God. 2007 is 9 years ago now, getting close to 10. Decade old, and I remember it so vividly, I remember the whole thing so vividly. It makes me really question, how many of these memories that we have, how many of them are just fabrications? How many of them? Is it really as pristine and beautiful as I remember it, or are these as glorifications of the past? And am I just romanticizing the good old days? Food for thought, but I'm looking at the pictures now, and it was a beautiful place. I'll do you all the liberty, and for the next little while, I'll have some pictures going, so if you want to watch it via YouTube, you can look at some pictures, and, can see if you think it's a pretty place, too. I thought it was, though. It's the honest truth. No lie. Good afternoon, Mr. The Report of the Week. I've been listening through the various VORW episodes. I'd gotten back to around May 2015 by now. The gentle tones from a nice background while performing dull tasks. I even share your appreciation for old maps. In general, I am an unlikely listener to your channel. I am a chef and I haven't been to a fast food place for a long time. And even if I did, I do not live in the same country, so many of the places mentioned do not exist here. I often find the food presented by them quite unappetizing compared to what can be produced from fresh ingredients, which creates an interesting juxtaposition to your gentlemanly style of reviewing. This leads me on to the question: do you sometimes feel that your taste buds have become somewhat attenuated to the sort of flavors and quality of fast food establishments, compared to the wider realm of possibilities? And are your ratings relative to the type of product? For example, never have I had a frozen pizza, which I would rate more than 3 out of 10. Indeed, I feel the concept is flawed. To get a thin, crispy base and delicious flavor from sauce, topped from frozen, is basically impossible, he says. Well, first off, thank you for writing, and, as a chef, I respect your credentials in the field, which you really do have. You know food probably more than I ever will. But you are right with the rating scale thing. I do try to adjust it based on what I'm doing, and frozen pizza is a good thing, good thing to bring up. When I do a frozen pizza review, I'm mostly comparing it to other frozen pizzas in the field, okay? Because you're absolutely right. If I say compared, the latest Freschetta pepperoni pizza, and I said, is this pizza on the same level as an authentic pizza made in Sicily, Italy, by an Italian artisan pizza chef? Forget it. If I compared the two, the Freschetta one would probably get maybe, as I said, maybe a 2-3 out of 10. So I can't make those comparisons. I have to say, how does the Freschetta pizza compare to fellow pizzas by DiGiorno, Red Baron, Dr. Edgar, Edgar, Celeste Pizza, just disgusting, Screaming Sicilian, and so on. So I compare it to the little things in its field. You know, I do. So you're right with that. I just compare them to similar items. Hi, John. Just wanted to say, I'm sorry you're struggling with depression right now. I support you and your channel, and you'll get through it. All things must pass, as George Harrison says. I sometimes listen to his song when I'm sad, and I remember that it's only temporary. And here's a link if you want to listen. Your friend, James. So thank you for writing, James. And he linked me to the song, All Things Must Pass, by the Beatles, from 1969. And if you want to give it a listen too, feel free. If YouTube didn't have such restrictions, I'd play it right now on the air, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. I don't. Speaking of, you remember VORW number 20. I talked back then in early VORW. I played a song in it from a YouTube group called the 3-Beat Slide, okay? Look them up right now. The 3-Beat Slide, or just 3-Beat Slide. They did a song back in the day called Summertime is Great. And I kind of played the whole song, and I talked about it back then, and so on. I have no problem calling them this now, but from now on, I'm thinking of them not as a 3-beat slide, but as a $3 slide. Got a nice email the other day saying that they filed a... It's not a copyright strike, it was just a claim. And they said, hey, we're monetizing this video of yours now so we can make extra cash from the 20 views a month that VORW is probably getting. You know. So they'll enjoy their penny now, but... No action taken against my account, but pretty much they said, hey, you're using our song in that VORW, so we're gonna make your ads mine for that video. We'll make the whole 1 cent you're earning from that video. And I shrugged it off. I said, yeah, okay, do it. I'm not gonna file a dispute against something that's silly. Account is in good standing and no action taken against my account, so I'm still in the green. No problem there. But that just reminded me of something. Now, where were we? Let's see where we were. I think here we go. Hi, Report of the Week. I'm another person from the UK. And like another of your viewers, I like to watch them before bed because of how relaxing they are. Your shortwave radio videos are very informative, and I think that you are one of the only people on YouTube that can deliver a consistent and concise video to help your viewers. And I'm very thankful for that. Hope you continue making your VORW show in the future, and I'm very interested in seeing what kind of projects you may be doing soon, so keep it up. And thank you very much for that, because keeping it up, I will. So, that's what we got there. P.S. I saw your call for donations in support of VORW, and I was only too glad to support. Great to know that I'm helping bring you back to the airwaves. You've been such a joy for so many of your listeners, and I hope you enjoy recording this broadcast as much as we'll all enjoy listening to it. Sincerely, Tyler. Thank you very much, Tyler. Because we will be on the air, and it's all thanks to people like you. Hello. I know you dislike KFC because of their crappy quality, and this just proves your point, and is a very interesting article. So let's read it, shall we? February 4th, 2016, it's recent. Man finds lung attached to KFC chicken breast. This disgusting-looking lump of disgustingness is what was served up to a customer at KFC. Mark Nichols, 30, chewed into what he thought would be a piece of chicken breast when they ended up feeling sick at what he realized what it was. Said it was disgusting and absolutely vile. He bought the 3-piece box from a branch in Labrador, Queensland, Australia, he told Mail Online. I pulled a piece off, found that out, and spat the rest out. You don't expect to have that kind of crap in your food when you go to KFC, he wrote. KFC said it was probably an offal, a lung or kidney that should have been thrown away. Spokesman said most of the time offal is removed in the preparation process, but occasionally it may remain. Wasn't that great, folks? One eat that disgusting KFC and it's even worse than you thought it was going to be. Bite into it, it's a lung. Oof. Horrible. It's disgusting. That's another reason why I don't go to KFC. Makes you feel awful too, in my opinion. Hello, dearest review, boss. Sorry for the absence of letters recently. I've been pretty busy with school. To answer your last 2 questions, I have to agree with you and many others to say that Five Guys has the best burger. After that, I'd say Fat Burger at a local place, Rodeo Burger are my favorites. My favorite chicken dish comes from the Canadian establishment Tim Hortons. I really like the crispy chicken sandwich with its ciabatta bun and sauce. I also enjoy the KFC Twister wraps and was glad to see that they made them a comeback. A question for you. I've been studying American history lately and find colonial New England very fascinating. Have you visited any interesting historic sites in your area? Or have any favorite part of American history? Keep up the great work. Well, thank you. I have visited many historic sites, and the Revolutionary War was very interesting to me. And I visited many of the old battlefields, Lexington and Concord, of course, old historical Boston, visited Saratoga Springs, visited, where else did I visit? Saratoga Springs, Yorktown, Cowpens, a lot of the major sites there. Civil War was very fascinating too. Back in 2013, I visited Gettysburg, and I was able to tour around the battlefield there. I mean, if you're ever at Gettysburg, the battlefield was so massive there. I mean, my God, could you imagine how it must have been when the Battle of Gettysburg was going on? I mean, it was just these sprawling, massive fields over such an area. To have imagined that filled with, tens of thousands of soldiers fighting. My God. I know it would be morbidly fascinating, but someplace I'd never want to be. I mean, just think about all the stray bullets that there would be, Ooh. Wow. So that's, crazy. Thank you for writing, of course. You're a good regular writer. Okay. Let's see what else we got going here. Let's see what we got going. Absolutely love the show. Your voice is so calming. I listen to VORW all the time. Mainly listen to them while I play Euro Truck Simulator. One suggestion, can you make them a downloadable podcast? I'd love to listen to them on the road. Thanks. Well, no problem. I think there is some work being done right now, maybe with Reddit or something. I'm not a whole familiar person with all the podcasts or how it is, but I think they are doing some work, or maybe it's even done, to have made this a podcast, so stay tuned there. Alright, so I'm not even gonna lie. I did take a brief break just to kind of, calm my voice a little bit. And before we get back to letters, I know I don't often talk about current events in the VORW show, but this is a big event right now in the U.S. Is a Supreme Court Justice, Mr. Scalia, has passed away. He was 79 years old, and they believe the cause of his death was natural causes. Okay, that's fine. People die. You're gonna die. I'm gonna die. It happens. It's part of life. It all ends at some point. What's the big deal? And seeing the reactions to this person's death, it was just an interesting thing to observe. That's just how I see it. I just thought it was an interesting thing to observe. And then I began thinking, and I said, there's nothing new to it. Here's why. Right, I was looking at reactions of the person's death, looking at, the news articles, looking at the comments in them. And they were mixed. Some people were saying, it's a shame he died. He was a great politician. He did this country good. And a lot of people were saying, I'm glad that, quote, I'm glad that fat bastard's dead, and so on and so forth. And at first I was thinking, isn't that a little harsh to say that? But then I thought about it, and, I realized it may seem harsh, but when any person of fame or notoriety or any recognized individual dies, if you look close enough to what people are saying, you're going to see the same reactions for every single time. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. When David Bowie died, I'm sure there were people who were saying this man was a legendary musician, and he's going to be so missed. And there's going to be people saying, this guy's music was absolutely horrible, it sucked, he had no contributions to music, I'm glad he's dead. Something to pay attention to next time. Something to take note of. Always the same reactions every time. It might seem, as though, my God, why are people saying this? It's so horrible. But there's nothing new there. It's always been like that. Always will be. Always. It's guaranteed. Heck, if I dropped dead tomorrow, and, a few communities online posted about my demise, be the same exact thing. People would be saying, some people would be saying, oh, this guy, I'll miss his videos, and other people would be saying, good, I'm glad that autistic retard's dead, It's the same thing, But interesting observation I noticed. But that's what I got for you. Some food for thought, Sometimes I try to look at things from a sociological perspective. Not all the time, but sometimes. And sometimes it could be interesting to see how things work and how reactions are. I think it's pretty neat sometimes when you look at things like that. It's kind of like, reading between the lines, in a sense. Got to look at things through the eyes of another person. Carrying on with the fan mail, ladies and gentlemen. This person writes, Dear Mr. Reporter the John Bra. That's a new name right there. Personally, my favorite chicken sandwich from a fast food type place is by far Chick-fil-A. My college has one on campus, and I eat it at least once per week because it is simply a great time. Although, and I'm not sure if this is a nationwide chain or just a Northeast thing, I'm also a big fan of Boston Market's dark meat chicken dinners. If you do not have a Boston Market in Review Broland, it is a slightly higher scale fast food place that serves primarily chicken dishes with moderately high quality sides. I'm a big fan of their mac and cheese personally. For a fast food style restaurant, its chicken is surprisingly fantastic. I was sad to hear in the last VORW that you had a less than stellar week, and I hope that things will start looking up for you. You deserve to be happy, seeing as you bring happiness to so many people, including myself, through your wonderful reviews and irreplaceable VORW shows. Tonight, I thought that you could perhaps review 7-Eleven Slurpees in your currently unnamed beverage review series. I'm a big fan of Slurpees, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. All the best from Lucas. Thank you for writing, Lucas. I do have Boston Market near me. I've never reviewed it, but I've had Boston Market chicken before. It's pretty good. I will say, yeah, it is. Their rotisserie chickens are a little higher quality than some others. Back in 2014, I think it was, I reviewed a rotisserie chicken from A&P, not A&P, A&P, and it was, it's okay. I guess that means that opens the gates to do another rotisserie chicken review from somewhere. Thank you for writing, and yeah, Chick-fil-A's, hey, they got some good stuff. They do. Let's see. Dear Report of the Week. I live in the UK, where McDonald's and Burger King have a monopoly over fast food burgers, so I've never experienced a Five Guys. That is, until the other day when I found myself in London and decided to check out what I assume is the only Five Guys diner in England. It is located in Leicester Square, where many a star has been to attend the movie premiere. They're trying to associate Five Guys with Hollywood glamour. Who knows, perhaps Tom Hanks has eaten there, while incognito. I had a bacon cheeseburger. It was slightly oily, but a pleasant peanut oil that didn't leave the hands too greasy like regular cooking oil does. I didn't realize a main selling point was the vast choice of topping combinations. The clerk gave me a funny look when I just asked for ketchup. Had to get used to the crisp bacon that's a bit sharp on the throat. I'm more used to Burger King's flaccid and undercooked bacon. Perhaps one day a fast food company would develop a level of bacon crispiness somewhere in between. A man can dream. All in all, it was extremely satisfying. I savored every bite. Maybe because the cost was equivalent of $13 without fries. I mean, really, $13? Or are they airmailing the burgers from the U.S. first class or something? One strange thing about this service was that you're given an order number, but they never check your receipt, and they just give you the food to whoever says yes once the number is called. Someone could just steal your order. A burger is an odd thing to steal, but it could happen. I am curious how the UK version of Five Guys compares to the chains in its home country. Are your Five Guys restaurants also decorated with obscure American magazine covers and news articles praising the quality of their beef? Is there a notice board telling you which farm the potatoes for the fries came from? And you also remember, and sorry for the innuendo, the day you first got the experience of putting Five Guys in your mouth. I also must say it was enjoyable for me, but I probably won't have it again, at least for a year, simply due to price and location. By that time, I fear the UK chain will have closed down, which would be a shame. Finally, since you live in or near New York, do you ever get to go to Broadway shows and take in other cultural experiences found in the city? I myself can't get enough of Wicked. Hope all is well. Well, thank you for writing. Yes, Five Guys is. I really had to laugh because it's absolutely spot on right there. I mean, dead on. You go into the Five Guys. Sometimes the place is crowded, sometimes it's not. You get the guy calling the orders up, and they don't even look at the receipt; they just give it to you. The walls are decorated with all these weird little, magazines praising the quality of the burgers or the fries. Exact same thing. Um, and they have the little board also, saying where the potatoes came from. Yep, exactly that. And the price too, it is expensive. That's one thing, is that Five Guys it's good, but it's expensive. It's expensive. I myself have gone to a few Broadway theater performances, but not lately, as I've been tight on cash, and I can't afford such luxuries. So I bet I'm stepping around here. But one day I'll go again to a show, perhaps. One day, perhaps. Let's see what else we got here. Dear Reviewer, I hope you'll have a long and fruitful life, from Ross. Well, thank you, Ross. And I wish the very same upon you. Greetings, Mr. Bra. In response to your question last VORW, I would say that Popeyes had my favorite chicken dish, besides my mother's cooking. I don't recall if they had a special name, but it was a series of spicy chicken strips that came in good number. To the VORW before that, I feel I have to bring it up. My favorite burger from a common shop comes from Culver's. The chain sits heavily around the Midwest, but I saw one in Florida when I visited it in November. If there's one near you, and you haven't gone over yet, I really suggest you try it out. On a smaller and perhaps more personal note, I'd like to say that I really hope the days come brighter for you soon. I don't think I've ever been knowingly depressed, perhaps back before I dropped out of school, but yes, those days are years gone now. I keep my eyes forward and my chin up, and know I do enjoy what I enjoy. The final of the 3 questions I sent you on last VORW yielded a yes answer, and I didn't see or say what I was talking about on air, but I'm happy to hear that from you. As you can see, I have attached my first piece of fan art here, and I hope you enjoy it, and a little bit of a play on words that you see there. Hope you like bratwurst sausages, because I guess this would prove that you are what you eat. I have a few questions this time around as well. One, I know you said you listen to 90s music to a large extent. Would any of that be some of the wicked Eurodance tracks? What is Love? Better Off Alone? Or Cotton Eye Joe type stuff? I've listened to that, of course. I have listened to all the, the 90s Euro dance, all that music. I have, of course. A lot of that stuff is just, legendary, if you will. But, casually, not really, but I'll listen to it if I'm ever in the mood. I will. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm feeling it, I'm gonna listen to it. Let's see. What has been your worst food buying experience in your life? Not so much about the quality of the food itself, but the trouble it took to get there. Long lines, bad employees, etc. Let's see. Worst of my life. That's a tough one, because there's so many now. I have like 500 in my mind I gotta shuffle through right now. So let me think about this. This one doesn't even pertain to a review. Let's go back in time to around 2007, 8, or 9. And let's talk about Subway. Back when Jared was still in the green and losing those pounds and selling those subs. And back when the $5 footlong wasn't $6. Let's talk about Subway. This had to be the worst experience I've ever had. I'm just thinking about it now. I haven't even thought about this one for a long time. But, it might be worse, but this one I just remember. We just went there. We wanted to order I think a BLT. Just a BLT sub, that's it. BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato, toasted, on Italian urban cheese bread with some salt and pepper. That's it. That's literally all I wanted. Simple sandwich right there. remember it started out with the staff just being inattentive, just not caring. Then they started putting meatballs on the BLT, and I don't even know why they thought the meatballs went on the BLT, but they started putting meatballs on it. Then they took them off, but they didn't change the bread, so they still left the sauce on the bread, which, contaminated the flavor. Then after that, what happened? Then after that, they finally, got the sandwich completed. We went to pay the credit card, and I think it was an issue on their end with the machine or the system, that it wasn't, it might have been down or something, so it couldn't accept the credit card. So some places, when you're completely able to pay, but it's kind of on their end, they'll say, all right, it's on us, the system's down, okay, take it. But not this time. They refused to give it to us, even though it was their error. They said, all right, we'll be able to, get some cash from like an ATM that was down the street. So we left. We got to the ATM. Got to the ATM, got the money, went back. And I remember there was some sort of problem getting the ATM, so when we got back there, it was, 15 minutes later, we go back and we see the person there, literally on break, eating the sandwich that they were supposed to be saving for us, that we were supposed to, to get. And that was a real clincher right there. But I remember that one. That just stuck out to me at the moment. I've never gone back to that Subway. And 3, this person says, this is a bigger one, more of a request. Can you please recite these very classic lyrics in a spoken word format? Go a long way for us 90s fans. Sure. Yo, listen up, here's a story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night and everything he sees is as blue, like him inside and outside. Blue his house, with a blue little window and a blue Corvette. And everything's blue for him and himself and everybody around, 'cause he ain't got nobody to listen to. I'm blue, da bay dee, da bay dee. Thank you and have a good one. Here's to February being a better month for us all. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for your questions and your writing, and it's my pleasure to recite those famous lyrics. On to the next. Hello, Review Bra. Just want to let you know that I strongly oppose the comments being enabled on your channel. Please disable them as they previously were. Thank you. Thank you for writing, and thank you for your input. Dear Report of the Week. First time writer here, just wanted to express my gratitude to your fine show. Your lectures on shortwave encouraged me to try out the shortwave receiver function on my Roberts Travel radio. I reached China Radio International as well as one broadcasting in French. I even sent a fairly amateurish reception report to the Chinese station. Thrilled I was able to have reached a station at all. To that extent, you've done one of the nicest things a person can do for another. You nudged me to try something new. I try and do this myself regarding free jazz, having written about the subject for a magazine. I thought I'd return the favor and recommend you listen to You've Got to Have Freedom by Pharoah Sanders, an anthem of the free jazz genre. You might also find the paintings of Wayne Thiebaud quite fun. He paints vivid and joyously colored pictures of neckties and bow ties, among other things. Sounds right up your alley. Keep doing what you do, from Angus. Well, thank you for writing. And it's my pleasure to be able to get you, into shortwave, and, just scan around the bands at different times and you'll find stuff. Guaranteed, you will. I promise you that. China Radio International is a great station, by the way. Hey, Review Bra. To answer your question on VORW number 111, I'd have to say that my favorite fast food location chicken dish would likely be the Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich. I haven't been to many fast food establishments, so I guess this would be as good as it gets for me for now. They, for the most part, put enough mayonnaise, and the chicken is almost always tender and prepared correctly, thus making it my favorite. I also have a suggestion for something you can review in the future. McDonald's has a seasonal shake for the St. Patrick's Day. It's called the Shamrock Shake. I just have to say, for McDonald's, this shake is exceptionally delicious. If you haven't already, I highly recommend you try it and review it. Assuming Review Barland McDonald's have it yet. Best regards to ya, from Nathan. Well, thank you for writing, Nathan. Thank you very much. And, the spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's actually is a pretty good chicken sandwich. Not even gonna lie there. I know I say a lot of fast food places have gone downhill lately, and that's how I genuinely feel, but Wendy's, their chicken sandwich, especially the spicy chicken sandwich, the one up here at least, they do a pretty good job, so I can't disagree with that. That's a good chicken sandwich. It is. I think it is. I think they do a good job with it. And yes, I've heard about the famous Shamrock Shake, and if I do get the chance, why the heck not? I'll give it a review, Thank you again for writing, Nathan. Hello, Report of the Week. I have another piece of art for you, yet another enthralling image of you. Only the finest reviewer of various foods, drinks, and energy drinks. This drawing depicts you in your Chewy Chips Ahoy brownie-filled cookies review. What I was mostly trying to achieve while drawing this was to capture your expression in comparison to that absolutely irate-looking cookie. Also, I wanted to know if you won Best Dressed in high school. There's absolutely no reason that you didn't, because you dress like a damn fancy gentleman and scholar. Anyways, I hope all is well in Review Barland, and keep the great videos coming. From Nick. Thank you for writing, Nick. And thank you for the drawing. I will say I do favor that one. That's very well done, and you certainly have a good hand to draw with. And I also give my compliments to the artist who made the bratwurst drawing too. I like that as well. Yeah, but Review Bra, about that question, dude, you didn't even graduate high school yet. You're like 16. Come on, man. Yeah, you shut up. That's the nicest way to put it. I know. The way my face looks, it can give some the impression that I'm younger than I am, but please understand that I have indeed graduated high school. I am a graduate and have been for a while. So as for that, I do comfortably say that yes, I did win the best dressed for that. I did indeed win the best dressed accolade. So there you go with that. Greetings, Review Bra. I am a long-time listener, believe it or not. However, this is my first time writing in. To first start, how are you? I'm doing well, particularly well the evening that I am writing this, although a hectic week for me, since I am moving into a new home. I've managed to keep my head up. At some point I got bored though and decided to make a few Photoshop images of you. They're nothing bad, as I'm aware that you may get many of those. I do also have a few questions I'd love to hear your opinion on. What are your feelings/opinions on YouTube's new service, YouTube Red, and have you considered setting one up? Well, first and foremost, I'm doing fine, thank you. And secondly, for YouTube Red, it's something I don't expect to set up anytime soon. I know it's, I haven't fully looked into it, but I just want to, provide free content to all of the viewers and listeners out there. And if YouTube Red would stop me from doing that, couldn't say that interests me. You know, it certainly, I think, turn a lot of people off. I think it would. Also, how do you feel about music's evolution from the good old days? More specifically, this current generation's music. Where do you think music will go? As a musician myself, I often think of this. Thank you again for the amazing content you've created from Cody. Thank you for writing, Cody. You know, I don't like the way music is today. I used to like pop music back in 2009, 2010. Oh boy. Used to watch this show on Fuse. It was called All Nighter. Came on from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. And Fuse would just, use that time slot to play music on instead of, airing infomercials like a lot of other stations would. Fuse decided to be creative and they'd just air music, popular music videos at that time. I used to love that show. I know it sounds rather primitive, but at the time it's what I would do. As I said back then, I didn't have a smartphone, nor do I now, but at least I have other tools and more wit to be able to find this stuff out. But back then, I was so into that, believe it or not, I'd actually get a little recorder. Sometimes it'd be a cassette tape, other times an actual digital recorder, similar to this one that I use. Now put it at the speaker, and I'd actually record any good songs I liked and try to find out which ones it was later. But my God, I've revisited that show and oof. Wow. Has it gone downhill? Yes, it has. I don't like the way the popular music today is. I just don't. Just how it is. So that's why I just, I utilize different services and such. So I can listen to the music I'm comfortable with, I like, from, 15 to 25 years ago. So I listen to that. I think music will take a trend as it is already. I think you can expect to see even more electronic. I think you can see a lot more like electronic, EDM influences, and a lot more, hip hop and rap influences in music to come. That's how I see it. There may be some fusion between genres, they may try to create some different things there. May try to, combine genres that haven't been combined before to create a new sound, so you never know how that'll work, But music changes a lot faster than some things do, so anything is possible, really. Thank you for writing. And finally, the person writes, "Hey John, it's me again, just wanted to say hi again. I don't really have much to say, except that I listen to your VORW almost every night, and sometimes in class when I need to focus. Also, I was wondering if you can review some type of taco truck from around your area. I'm from Chicago, or Chicago as they say, so there's a lot of taco trucks everywhere. Greetings from Chicago." Well, thank you, and if I do see a taco truck nearby, maybe we'll check it out. But the thing with those is I just like to review a product that's applicable to everyone. And this individual taco truck would only be applicable to those who are within its grasp, that are within its vicinity. That's us taking a risk. But otherwise, it's possible. Thank you for the suggestion. And folks, that marks the end to this VORW program. I know it was relatively short, and, I do apologize for the length or lack thereof. But just know that, my voice is still recovering from this cold, and I just don't want to overdo it, and I hope you understand there. But that's what we got for you. Hope you were able to enjoy it. And next week, expect a nice long show. A lot more talk, a lot more fan letter reading, and a lot better of a show. So until then, folks, remember the question of this is just about winter, your general thoughts, like it or don't. And please write in. Remember, your letters are what drives this show. So please, keep them coming, keep them going, and I'd love to be able to answer them and talk about them. Please contact us, youtube.com/YouTube/ I'm sorry, let's redo this. youtube.com/user/report of the week. Click on the About tab, send a message, type in the contents of your message, submit, and it'll be in my inbox. Or if you want to email me, repweekinterview1@gmail.com. That's repweekinterview1@gmail.com, or vorwinfo@gmail.com. vorwinfo@gmail.com. Fan art is always welcome. I love to have nice pictures that you guys have made to be able to be used to, to fill in the background here and you can look at while you're watching this. That's all we got for you. Hope you have a great week, great weekend, whatever's left of the weekend. Happy Sunday and Monday and thus forth to you all. VORW next week. Stay tuned and remember to tune into the VORW shortwave broadcast, 7490 kilohertz and 5110 kilohertz, next Saturday the 20th if you're interested. Times and frequency information will be provided in a video next week. Thank you for listening and take care. This is VORW, the voice of the Report of the Week, wishing you a very good evening. Take care. This is the voice of the Report of the Week, signing off.